A wild chopping happened here along the main street in Dangriga on Sunday, and it has left one man dead and another hospitalized. But today it's business as usual on St. Vincent Street, where all that's left is a bloody trail, several yards long, that shows where an injured man ran for his life. Just after 11 on Sunday morning, 53-year-old Anthony Picart and 29-year-old Calvin Figueroa and several other persons were under this shed when words were exchanged. That hard talk was initiated by Figueroa to Picart. According to Figueroa, Picart pulled a machete and chopped him once to the upper left arm, which almost severed his hand. Figueroa says that he managed to get a hold of the machete and turned it on Picart, but doesn't remember exactly what happened next. He says he feels bad about what happened, but it was all in self-defense.
We made a sell out, they sell some mango and they have a little conversation amongst myself. And I actually tell Mr. Picart that I chance it, I don't chance my friends with. And I could remember what actually happened. I had chill and he just gone off a feed bike. He grabbed the machete off a feed bike and he started chopping me. So I have to wrestle it off a fight for my life, because if I never did it, he may take away my life, because he almost cut off my hand completely. All the skin and the bit of muscle will hold it up together. Yeah, and that will actually happen. After that I just passed out and I lose a lot of blood. I don't remember what happened.
So you never chased the man down the street, they chop him up?
I can't actually remember. I don't remember when it happened, where we made it at the spot the same time. Yeah. When I get up again, I carried at the hospital. I feel real sorry about it. I could have sent my condolences to the people and tell them I say I leave forgiveness, because never nothing I may expect to happen just like that. I never meant it. But if I never defend myself, you probably may do me the same thing.
I think you may be the one dead today.
In the situation, yes, ma'am.
Picart never have no exchange before, never fight before?
Never had a altercation before.
While Figueroa says he doesn't recall what all happened on Sunday, eyewitnesses told us that he chased Picart along St. Vincent Street, chopping him several times. They say that Picart ran for his life and tried to seek refuge here on Bluefield Road, but collapsed. It was here that residents tried to use this piece of stick to disarm Figueroa. Police corroborate that angle of the story. And as to the theory of self-defense that Figueroa claims, here's what police had to say.
In the process of Mr. Picart attempting to make his escape, he was pursued by Figueroa, who inflicted several other chop wounds to him. Figueroa was later disarmed by several witnesses who were in the area. Mr. Figueroa is under police guard at the K.H.M.H Memorial Hospital.
Is there an element of self-defense that police have to contend with? Is the gentleman claiming self-defense in this particular?
No, not as yet. The investigation is at its early stages, and if you were able to listen to the facts, you would see that Figueroa was able to disarm the deceased and then pursue him where he inflicted the injuries.
Therefore, that element will not play a factor into this particular...
I am not of that opinion. However, the statements and the other evidence will be gathered before submission to the Office of the DPP for her directives.
Picart's grandnephew, Denrick Walton, says that he remembers his uncle as being a calm and easygoing person. They never imagined that his life would be taken in such a brutal manner, especially so at the hands of someone he knew well. Picart was being taken to the Western Regional Hospital, but was pronounced dead on arrival by 10 on Sunday night. Picart spent many years in the USA, but was deported several years ago to Belize. Walton says that they're still trying to process this tragedy.
Tony is a very timid man, right? He's the type of guy that would run away from trouble. And I guess that what I heard that Rojo approached him, right, beat him up, and I think that Tony was the one who pulled the machete, but somehow Rojo gained power over him and took the machete and chopped him up. That's what I heard. I'm just speculating at this moment.
Now, his chopping injuries, do you know to what extent he was shot?
I visited the hospital yesterday, but was unable to see him. But what I've heard that he was severely chopped in his head, his arm, and multiple times on his body.
The machete that he was chopped with, that's his own machete? That's Mr. Picart's machete?
Yes, I believe that that is his machete, because from what I heard, he rose the machete to defend himself, and the accused pick up a blocks and stone him. Then I believe that that was how he gained power, you know, and take possession of the machete and inflicted those injuries upon my uncle.
Have you heard if he went by this shed, where these guys are usually socializing, playing dominoes?
He's not a quite frequent visitor of that area. As I said, he goes around town, right, selling coconut, oranges, whatever he gets from farm, just for his daily necessities.
All right. And so the guy that, he got involved in that, exchange yesterday, are they friends? Do you know if, he knows Mr. Rojo?
I think he knows him because one of his brother is married to his aunt. So I know they are quite acquainted, but to say they had any prior disagreement, not to my knowledge. The news was quite surprising and devastating knowing the type of personality he is, right? He's a harmless human being, right? Tony doesn't look for trouble with anyone. So to have heard that that actually occurred was quite surprising to us. My uncle, Anthony Picart, resided in the U.S. for quite a amount of time, where he had 3 kids, 2 daughters and a son. And what saddens me the most is because after he got deported, he always planned to have met his kids and his grandkids, and he will never get that opportunity.
Reporting for News 5, I'm Andrea Polanco.